And
we're in
some
a
of us
daze.
are still in the daze.
Yes, but we know that even in that daze, professional development is going to help us move forward. So that's what we call it. So anyway, I speak to Facebook and they say, we love what you're doing. And I'm not really doing anything yet. And I tell them, why I started the group. Like I told you, people were asking me for
Mm-hmm.
help. And they say, well, what's your mission? What's your vision? What do you want to do in a year? And I don't have any of that. I just wanted people to come out of my inbox asking for help, So we have a couple more conversations and they're supposed to do some things and it doesn't work out because Facebook has their own challenges shortly after. But one of the
Yeah.
things I am so thankful for that Facebook contacted me 3 days in, and I felt like that was a sign that said, you have
Yeah.
something and you need to do it in excellence. And so we're
Yes.
very deliberate in the messaging, right? As I said, we don't want to marginalize anyone in a group where we say we service marginalized people, I believe in God and I'm spiritual, but I don't bring my religion to the group,
Mm-hmm.
we do not do any law of attraction. So anyone who says, hey, yeah, I want to come in a group and tell them these 5 affirmations to say to get a job. Oh, no, no. You might say an affirmation as part of something else, but we're not promising anybody anything, I may believe in the law of attraction, but we're not going to do that. So we're very deliberate in that if someone's coming to train, I say, you have to give us something actionable, that if someone wanted to put action behind it, they could. And that's it. I don't review what someone's going to
And just keep
say.
it simple. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what we do.
I love it. And so to you, what does success mean for you? For those who are within the group,
Mm-hmm.
how have you seen success manifest itself?
Oh,
How have
yeah.
you seen it come as a, like this is good stuff for someone that's joined your group and been part, of the journey?
Okay. Some of the success. So we celebrate wins every week. So I post, I set up a picture and I say wins, celebrate wins, and people drop their wins in. And some of those successes are as simple as I've had a LinkedIn profile for 8 years. I finally connected with people. I held 3 virtual meetings where I talked to people all over the world, right? I went on an
Nice.
interview. I approached a director in an organization that I really want to work for, and I asked them for an informational interview. I grew my network to 500 people, to 1,000 people. One that I really love is when someone who will speak to me in my inbox, but never speaks in the group, finally starts to speak in the group and help each other. So all of those are successes. It is, and we have people who get jobs. So every week we are announcing that someone got a job or someone started a new business, because again, we
It froze. I don't know if you can you hear me? It froze.
was given that narrative that I was given. Go to school, do well, and you will do well. And
I
that's
love it.
not
I
always
love it.
true.
No, I love it. I am so thankful that someone like you. You're a change agent.
I hope so.
You're helping others to stay in the empowered space of knowing that they still matter,
I really do.
that they're enough. Is
Yes.
just like, as you mentioned, is having that encouragement is really helpful. So we're thankful for that. We need more people like you around the world, around in different communities, and whether the community is local or online in a Facebook group. But it is something that right now, especially as you mentioned, of what's happening right now, and whether before or after it was still in existence, is just, yes, you started the process now, but this is something that is not going to go away until there is this massive unification that happens globally. But until that happens, that it still will be a space to help those who feel marginalized,
Yes.
who feel left out, who
Yes.
feel that they're not part of a group, or really just excluded, really excluded. In inclusion, you mentioned the word inclusion. That's a lot of time we hear the word diversity, we hear equality, but inclusion in itself is huge. How have you seen inclusion played out and what it is that you do in your group?
Okay, so inclusion in our group, we have a number of disabled people in our group who I didn't seek them out. It just happened to be people who were disabled who came into our group. And we have a career coach who is disabled. He was born with fluid on his brain, right? So he has a disability that's not obvious, right? He is coaching his first autistic client, okay? He is amazing, all right? That's Jacob
Right.
Levy. We have another person in our group who is disabled, who is she's called the Business Knowledge Broker Hour. She sets up business. She helps people set their businesses up, but through an accident, she's now walking on a cane. And she came and she presented to us and told us how she's discriminated against because she walks on a cane. We also
Yeah.
have people in our group who are not disabled, who are regular folk, right? And they say, you know what? All my life, I have been a quiet person, and people thought quiet meant stupid, right? And they are learning how to turn that. Someone said I flipped it on its ear. I turned it on its ear, and I use
Hmm.
that. I'm observant, and I come in and I observe things, and we're teaching people how to speak. Who never had a voice. We are telling people that you have a story. That in and of itself, you have a story, and we want to hear it when you're ready to give it to us. That is inclusion, right?
Hmm.
I
And that
want to
story empowers
know.
them.
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
know you. I want to know about you. So we see inclusion play out in our group that one, we have open arms for everyone. If you go on our website, we're very deliberate in our graphics about, that we have everything physically represented,
Hmm.
but then
Hmm.
again, there are other things that you could be marginalized that are not physical, right? That you can't see physically.
Yes.
Um, so I also think that inclusion plays out in the group that we are so supportive of one another.
I love
Everyone is
that.
very supportive. And in this month of September, we have a couple, like we have a woman coming to speak. She has an obvious disability. She's a small person. She suffers from dwarfism, but she's an advocate for inclusion. And so her presentation is going to be to teach us how to be more inclusive in the world.
That's it.
Yeah, whether it's the workspace,
Yeah.
your personal life. And I say we need this. We need this because
Yeah.
we will go on to open businesses, right? And we want to make sure that we're being inclusive, or we're just human beings. And I want to
Yeah.
make sure I'm being inclusive. We have
Yeah.
another gentleman coming to talk about what is his. His is inclusion and story in the art of storytelling. And I'm not sure what that's going to be, but he says how important it is, and he's going to use stories to focus on inclusion. And he identifies as a white homosexual male, right? So I don't, and he's a
It's different. It froze for 1 second.
says, I became a better me because I was in this group. And that's it.
I love it. I
I'm
love it. Well, I'm just so thankful that you came and shared all this golden nuggets and some great tips of really opening our eyes and understanding that yes, as we have our world, there's a whole nother world out there. There's a whole other groups that are just looking where we can make impact. It could be small, it could be large, but we can definitely make an impact to make someone feel better, included, and definitely more valued. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me, Carla. I really appreciate you. I can't wait till we speak, until we host you in our group and we hear
Yes,
your story.
I
Yes.
look forward to it. I definitely look forward to it. So we gotta wrap it up in the sense of you sharing with the world. How do you serve others? What is your purpose?
My purpose is, they say like this the fruit of the spirit. And so one of those should have been the spirit of motivation. Like, yeah, you can have the spirit of exaltation. Maybe people say Kirk Franklin has that spirit. He got that. I have always been a motivator and a connector since I was a kid. If you needed something done, I could tell you where to go to get it. I could connect the people, and that has helped me professionally, right? Because as a chief operating officer, I just position people and resources, right? I don't necessarily do a lot.
I love it.
I did.
Yes.
Okay. But that's what I do. I'm a connector of people. And so even within the group, I can have a conversation with you today, and 2 weeks from now, I'll speak to someone else and say, oh, you have to be connected to Carla because you're an up and coming engineer, and Carla is an engineer, and she's going to drop something in your life. Okay. And that's what I do. So everyone knows I'm a connector, and I'm the biggest
That's
cheerleader.
awesome.
And that's what I do. Motivate and connect.
I love it. And I guess you couldn't be in the HR without being a cheerleader and a connector.
Yes, that's it.
So thank you again for stopping by on your inspired journey. I'm sure that someone is going to take this information and really look out to reach out, connect with you. It's Corona Daze, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to really just add into their life what it is that they can do to move to the next level, whatever that next level looks like.
Yes.
But really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me, Carla.
Well, everyone, this was a phenomenal conversation in regards to connecting, really motivating, and of course, empowering. And a lot of times we think that it is just about how we are seeing others, but it can be how others see us, and it can make that impact. So take today, make an effort, make the intentionality, and definitely have the awareness that we are all in this together. Until then, I'm Carla Andrews, and I'll see you soon.